Good morning. This is Leo Gilling on the Leo Gilling Show. And this morning, there are several topics that's out there that we can talk about. But um, last week, there was one that caught my attention, and I want to make sure that I bring my thoughts to it. The one regarding students who were blocked from classes at GC Foster College because their hairstyle did not conform to what the standards of the school were. And there's so many things. I went online and I saw the first post from a friend of mine, and I had not yet seen the article. And I hadn't read the article, and I hadn't done any research or anything. But I saw that the students were were you know denied access to classes. So my comment on the post was, um, how old are the students? And one person responded and said they're adults, meaning that they're over 18. So I said, why is it that they're blocked anyway? Because why are they told that they can't wear their hair the way that that doesn't make any sense. But then after I made that post, I came off and I thought about it, and I thought about my days in college. This was from 1979. I went to college in Jamaica, and I said to myself, "Did I have to think about that?" And after thought, I realized that I didn't have to think whether or not my hair was intact because the policy matched the society in 1979. So there was none way that I was going to, um, uh, you know, go cornrow, because at that time, going cornrow means that I'm representing female, right? And somebody would call me a woman, or something like that. And I wouldn't have gone with a locks, because at that time most people in Jamaica didn't like Rastaman, and I wasn't a Rastaman either, right? I wouldn't even go bald head because that wasn't a thing at the time. It took me a long time to cut off my hair, right? And so 1979, we had we had adopted the colonial way of life. So uniforms in school, and college, because when I went to college, we were wearing uniforms also. Mine was brown and beige, or blue and blue, sky blue and dark blue, or something like that, right? And the ladies had to wear blue or brown or that kind of, all kind of different colors. There were like four different colors that they could wear, green. And so we didn't have to think about it, because our expectation matched our thoughts. But time change, right? Time change. It's been 45 years, which means each generation, each era, each 10 year come with a different thing that moves the needle. And so I had to think about my post or my comment on the post, whether or not it was in line. And so what I did, I after a couple of days, because it was bothering me so much about my post, I didn't do any research on it or anything. I decided that I am going to do a research and find out if the book for the school, the handbook for the school, was online. And it was indeed online, and so I wanted to know whether I violated something that, my own way of life, right? And so when I read the book and found the space where the dress code was, I also found about the hairstyle, and I'm going to see if I can find it here so I can read it if I do have it. Um, I think I do have it, but I'm not able to find it. But I think it's on. Just give me a chance here. Let me find it because one thing I know is that I am not the type of guy who goes out and breaks the rule just like that, just for the heck of it, right? And so that's the reason why it was bothering me. So I found the handbook, and specifically it it addressed females dress code and male dress code. But I won't bother to read the female dress code because the male is what we're talking about, right? So the dress code for male says men are required to wear appropriate clothing, tailored pants and shirts, and for classes. No corn rows, plaits, or twisting is allowed. Also, hair must be half-inch in length, right, and properly combed. Failure to do so will result in student being barred from entering class. Men are not allowed to wear earrings on campus at any time. Those are the rules when it came um, to attending classes at GC Foster College. So we're talking about GC Foster College, right? And then I saw the principal defended that. Let me tell you what the principal said in defense of the students who felt like they were dissed or he said, the principal said, we have what we have said to students is that we are having issues where they are being stigmatized because of their grooming, and you know, I 20 years ago I would agree with the argument that he brought forward here. 20 years ago I would, but right now I would not, because all over the world people are wearing locks, they're wearing cornrow, they're doing everything. I mean, 20 years ago, I had my hair, I used to be an MC, and I had my hair sticking out in, on sticks. They're twisted, and then sticks were placed inside the middle of the hair, and it stand up like that when I was going on stage. So the thing is, uh, today I would not support what the principal says, but I would support him if he says, listen, the rules are the rules. I mean, understand that, okay? So but because time has changed, because it's 45 years since I went to college, and I know that I I didn't have to think about the grooming policy, because what it is that I did was what I did. And so therefore I didn't have to think about grooming, because I came up, it was still colonial business, and there are a lot of freedoms that were not allowed to us at that time. Freedom to think about anything that you want to think about. It wasn't a part of our culture. We have to think along the lines of the adults and the government and the school and the church. We have to think along those lines. But nowadays, people are pushing back, and we have to understand that the pushback is something that we need to take a look at and determine whether or not we are matching our principles as an organization or as a school with the expectation that's going out on the road, right? And so I don't have a problem with him saying, "Hey, this is the rule," but I'd like him, that's the principal, and the student union is the most important right here, should be involved in looking at the handbook and saying, this does not represent us. This does not represent who we are today, and it definitely will not represent the new generation coming. And so, therefore, we need to tweak this rule. We need to go to the principal, sit down with the principal, talk about it first, Go sit down with the principal and say, Principal, this is not right here because it doesn't represent who we are today. It doesn't represent the society. And this is not going to last because you can't tell me, say, me can't wear my locks. You can't tell me, say, me can't wear cornrow in my hair. That don't make any sense today. It made sense 20, 25, 40 years ago, but it doesn't make sense today because everybody does it. In almost every sector in society, there are people who are accepted in wearing whatever they want to wear on their hair, and especially into the people, the kids who are born 1995 to 2000 and are working right now. They don't even want to go to work. They want to work from home. So you have to find a way to tweak those principles, tweak those rules, right? And then make sure that the rules that you put in, if let's say you have cornrow, it's okay to have cornrow, but it has to be this way. I don't have a problem with your pants supposed to be at your waist in college, in a teacher's college, because we have to have certain guidelines. I believe that teachers must be at a different level when it comes to grooming and so forth. But you can't say that they are. I mean, our ministers in Jamaica wear dread. I mean, there's a senator, maybe not minister, but Senator Crawford. Senator Crawford wears a long dread, and he's very proud of it. So how are you going to tell the children that they can't wear this? Because it doesn't represent what are you trying to do, right? So therefore, what is it that? How can you then make the rules so that it matches the college's principles, so that the students can live on the campus and feel comfortable, and they will not feel like you are dissing them, pay them money, right? And then they can't go to school. That don't make any sense. Then pay them money and you take away the privilege of them going to school. The only thing that should require them to go to school today is whether or not they pay the money, not the hair. Okay? So therefore, what needs to happen is that student union need to sit down. You need to look at what happened in the media last week. Sit down with those students who are being affected, and then take this issue to the principals and say, Principal, we need to change this right now. I am absolutely sure that principal will start looking, because you are way past 18 and the age of consent is 16, and then consider you an adult from right on 18. That is Jamaica. All right? It's no longer 21, by the way. Okay? You're a big man and you can do whatever you want at 16 and 18. Really. If you're in a school, you definitely have to be under certain kind of type of scrutiny. But once you get to 18, 19, 20, what are we trying to do here? They are adults, and we need to treat them as adults. But the rules must reflect that. And so what we need to do is to go back to the table with our rules and guide them according to what it is today and what we expect for tomorrow. That's what it is. All right, this is Leo Gilling, championing a cause today. This is and we'll talk again. Another one coming up this week